Speeds of 120.
Got me.
Welcome to the inaugural episode of South Texas Media. I'm your host, Guadalupe Cáceres, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce our distinguished guest. Our guest is part of a division that plays a vital role in becoming a Texas State Trooper. Recruiting Sergeant Keiri Graciano. Sergeant Graciano, thank you for being with us today. Give us a little insight about yourself. When did you graduate out of the academy? How many years were you away from home, because you're from RGV? And what are you currently doing for the Texas Department of Public Safety?
Well, thank you so much for having me today. A little bit about myself, like you mentioned, I am from the Rio Grande Valley, born and raised in Edinburgh, Texas. During my senior year, while attending University of Texas Pan American, I went ahead and applied for the Texas Department of Public Safety. And during my senior year, I was, fortunate enough to be picked up by the department. I was accepted to the A2015 Recruit School Academy, and I graduated in June 15 of 2015. During that time, I was told that I was going to be stationed in Midland. In my case, I had no idea where Midland was, so I actually had to get a map. Texas is very, very large. So I had to get a map and kind of, figure out where exactly I was going. In August of 2016, I was able to come back, and I was in Edinburgh as a Highway Patrol Trooper. And then just last year, I was able to promote to the Training Operations Division, where I have been a sergeant out of the mission office.
You did your service on Highway Patrol, and you had the opportunity to gain your certification as a commercial motor vehicle enforcement.
Correct.
But aside from that, I know you have a couple more certifications.
I actually went through the Fitness Institute, which is something that DPS offers. And as a result, towards the end of the institute, you have the opportunity to become certified through the American College of Sports Medicine.
Fitness is a big part of qualifications. Aside from fitness, what other qualifications does a person need in order to consider applying for DPS?
All right. So right now, there's 3 ways that you can qualify. There is the education route, which is the way that I was able to qualify back in 2014 when I applied. And education route, pretty much what we're looking for is 60 college hours. It has to be from an accredited college or university, right? So that's the education route. And then we have a military. As long as you have 2 years of active duty from a military branch, you would qualify. Of course, we want to make sure you have an honorable discharge. Any dishonorable discharges, you would not be able to qualify. Also, third, it would be prior law enforcement.
One thing I do want to mention for my prior law enforcement people, I did graduate out of Advanced Peace Officer Academy. I was graduated out of B-15. So I fell under the category, yes, I had 90 hours of college, but I also fell under the category with prior law enforcement. I came from the city of Mission. I was a Mission police officer. I did 6 years with the city of Mission. So for our prior law enforcement officers that have already done their 6 months academy, or they've been a couple years as a law enforcement officer, go to joindps.com. You might be lucky to be able to apply for Advanced Peace Officer Academy. It's not going to be your typical 30 weeks.
I think we're expecting it for B 2025. And most importantly, as recruiters, call us, right? We're going to be able to give you that information. But we're expecting one. We actually just had one graduate in December of 2023. Their academy was 14 weeks long. So I know yours was 8. Now it's 14 weeks long. The good thing about, being prior law enforcement is that the department kind of wants to reward you for your experience, right? Right after FTO, you start getting Trooper 2 salary. Salary is $105,000, which is equivalent to, 4 years as a trooper. Of course, it's subject to change because we're expecting an additional 5% raise this summer. So really encourage those people, who are, in other agencies, look into our website, joindps.com, and call your recruiters. We're here to kind of answer those questions that you might have.
So now, hypothetically speaking, I know 4 years, but let's say minimum is 2 years for prior law enforcement. They don't have those 4 years yet. As long as they complete their 4 years, so let's say they do 2 years with whatever agency they have before, and then they do 2 years as a trooper. That's their 4 years complete. That's when they jump up to Trooper 2 as well, right?
Correct.
Oh, okay. Sergeant Graciano, one thing I do want to mention is law enforcement has always been viewed as a male career. But we have a lot of great female troopers. One thing I do want to highlight, International Women's Month, you all play a big role in making DPS successful.
We have a lot to offer. Like, we have a lot that we can give, not just the department, but, you know, our citizens. I love to show that you can be a female and, you know, be able to wear this uniform, and you can go out there and, you know, do amazing in anything that you choose to do, whether, you know, you want to be in the tactical marine unit. You know, there's a lot of females, you know, who are in our boats, and you want to be in aviation, you want to be a pilot. Like, hey, like, we don't care whether you're male or female. If you have what it takes, you can do it. Now we even have Texas Ranger captains and, you know, people who've really moved up the ranks and made a big difference. So, you know, we have, you know, females who are thinking like, hey, I can't do this. Well, I'm here to tell you that you can.
Well, there you have it, South Texas Region. And like I said, this is the inaugural episode for South Texas Media. And what better way to start it off than having Recruiting Sergeant Keiri Graciano. You know, she's a state trooper. She's held her ground. I can trust her to be my backup, just like any other trooper. But what tops it off is Women International Month. And stay tuned for the next episode for the month of April. We will be inviting one of our safety education sergeants out of Corpus Christi for Autism Awareness Month. Thank you, and stay tuned for the next one.